G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Geez, it's bloody humid. Yeah, look, at the moment, it's a little bit after 6 o'clock in the morning, and our temperatures today, we're all overcast, but the temperatures today are 22 to 29. And over the last week, we've had a few good showers. We had friends just on the other side of town had 24 millimetres when we had 7 for the whole day sort of thing, just little bits of drizzle and things like that. But yeah, the sun comes out and goes away again, so it is really humid. Yeah, your shirts, like this I'm just getting going for the morning, so my shirt's not wet yet, but if you give it an hour or so in the shed here, I'll have sweat off my brow, probably not from working. And my shirt will be wet, and yeah, it's just that time of year. But yeah, humidity's 90-something% already for the day, and yeah, when the sun comes out a bit later on, it gets a bit higher in the sky and things start cooking, she'll be up there, yeah. But anyway, it's a good growing weather. The orchard's loving it, the paddock's looking lovely and green, and it's loving it. And yeah, it's just this time of year. It gets a bit stifling at times, and look, to be honest, you do get a bit sick of it, but we're only at the early end yet, and so no use bloody whinging just yet. The other day, for the vice president of Rum City Vintage Machinery Club, or what was the vice president until yesterday when he stepped down, was old Tony. And Tony's a mate of mine, and he's just an all-round good bloke. And we were going over to his place. He's got a lot of club stuff in his shed, and the shipping container for the clubs on his property and that. And look, age is catching up with him, and mobility is, yeah, he's not as mobile as he'd like to be, and things like that. And it's just those things. Yeah, I've been going over helping him with a club engine, and we're going to have a look at the club stuff because he's trying to have a bit of a tidy up. And you know, if he's not too IC of the club, he said, you know, he's looked after the club stuff for many years. We've got a place up at Mullet Creek now at the shed, the club shed, so we can get it up there. So I said, yeah, look, I'll go and help and sort things out. And Alan, the secretary, was there. And anyway, Tony said to me, he said, oh, my brother-in-law's here helping me. And he said, would you mind coming a bit early? You know, earlier than Alan, to look at the club stuff. He says, I've got a couple of tractors I'm trying to get together because I'm never going to get to, you know, restoring them, and I've got to sell them. And the family's onto me, you know, you're never going to finish all this. And he says, oh, I'm sick of hearing it. And so anyway, I went to help Tony, and he's got a Farmall AV, which is a high clearance Farmall A, 1948, he said. The engine turns over. I think I could have it running not without much of a worry. The bonnet's rubbish, the grill's rubbish. The back tyres there, 936s, very expensive tyres here in Australia. You're looking at about $1,100 per tyre. That's for tyre and tube here in Australia. They're just a bloody dear tyre, and they're rooted. The front tyres are buggered, and he said, oh, what's that worth? And he said, I've got to be $800. And I said, gosh, shit, Tony, if someone offers you $500, lock them up till the check, please, mate. Because there's, yeah, done up, it's worth $4,000, something like that. And it wouldn't be hard to get to that figure. But, I mean, the other thing he has there is it's a Farmall H, and it's a pretty straight Farmall H, but water's got down into the manifold sometime in its life, and the engine's seized. And he'd started pulling it apart, and yeah, going to sort it out, sort of thing. But yeah, time's not on his side. So he had his brother-in-law help him put brackets in, and they were having trouble getting down to. They had brackets left over. They didn't know where they went, and so they asked me would I go and help. So I did, and buggered around there and had a chat. And holy, was it hot in that shed of Tony's? His brother-in-law come back, and yeah, there's a couple of fans set up, and we're sitting in front of the fans trying to cool off and drink plenty of water. But his brother said it was 38 and 39 degrees in the shed, and the humidity, well, I had a 1.9 litre, so 2 litre bottle of water. I drank that while I was there, and my shirt was wringing wet. God, it was bloody hot. But there was no breeze. But when we went outside a little bit, there was a little breeze. But in Tony's shed, the roof was quite low, and in low, it's probably 10 or 12 foot off the ground. And yeah, it made a difference. But Tony's got a chair like mine, a kickback chair, and he sits in front of the fan. He does a bit and sits in front of the fan. So he's selling the Farm All H and the AV, and he's trying to sell them to me, and I haven't bitten yet. But anyway, we'll see. The AV I'd probably have a crack at, but because I've got 100 there to sort of go with that. The H, I don't know if I want to do a H engine, but anyway, not to worry. They're not expensive really, but the H has got buggered tyres as well, and but its panels are nice. Yeah, it's a pretty straight old tractor, but all the tyres are crook and it's seized engine and things like that, so they're not worth an awful lot. But he's going to keep a little Alice Chalmers Model B and work on that. And yeah, I've got a soft spot for them. One of the first tractors I ever did up was an Alice B, and it's a sulky axle one, and yeah, it had rusted out rims, and he got a bit of the 15-inch rims on them, and he got some of those little the spare wheels cars have nowadays. You know, you're only supposed to run on them at 80 kilometres an hour. They're just get out of trouble rims. Well, he found some of those rims, and he cut the centres out of his old LSB wheels and put the centres in these run flat rims. I can't think of the name of the damn things now. And but yeah, so he's just going to do that one up, and he's got the side weights and all for it, and it's got heavy cast centres on the back. But yeah, little B, it's a nice little tractor. So he's going to sell the H and sell the AV. But yeah, the thing was, in that shed, holy smokes, it was hot. And yeah, and the little B. I'm going to get him a little valve stem adapter, because when you take the valve cap off, it pisses water out. It's got water in the back, and him and his brother-in-law, they're getting to the age where they couldn't get under and get to the valve stems and pump the tyres up. So yeah, I hopped under there and pumped the tyres up for him and got him going. But this next Monday, yeah, a few of us are going to meet there, and Tony's going to arrange to have a forklift, and we're going to take the trailer and my ute, and there's a big old Detroit marinised engine that someone gave to the club. We've got to get that up north and up to Mullet, up to the club shed at least. And yeah, I had a big yellow gantry in here I gave Tony one time. It was a fixed gantry, and I gave that to Tony, and I've got the mobile one, which I find a lot better for my situation here. So, pardon me. When I gave it to him, he said, we'll have to make a day and we'll come and assemble it. And I said, yeah, no worries, but that never happened. It's still sitting over near the fence, and he said, oh, look, that gantry. And he said, I'm never going to put that together. So he said, can you get that out of here? And so I've offered that to the fellas up at the shed. They can put it near a door, because Indy, the young bloke, he collects engines, so it'd be handy for lifting engines in and out of a ute. So that'd help there. So we'll take that up, and there's a couple of engines and just bits and pieces. So we're going to get all the club stuff off Tony's place, and the shipping container that used to store it all, we're going to get that up to where the club shed is. So just so everything's together, and we'll slowly work on that. So that'll be a good thing. That's next Monday on the 9th, and Nev Cayley, he's donated some more stuff to the club, like a pressure washer and it's an old hot water washer, and a parts washer and a few things like that to the club. So he's coming up, so we're sorting a bit of that out. Yeah, which should be good. Through the week I went to Dave, old mate Rocket's place, and where my 135 is for the Christmas trailer, and yeah, we've got the baler set up there, and I think I have a little, yeah, I think I got a little bit of footage of that. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm not sure what I've done with it, which camera I took. And, God, I'm bloody sweating just sitting talking to you. Doesn't take much, does it? So that's looking good. This Thursday afternoon or evening into the night, we're going to the Pageant of Lights, a Christmas parade in town. And, yeah, look, we've got a lot of people from the club have turned up and decorated the trailer and, you know, put engines on. And, you know, we've got engines at the front on the drawbar where it's heavy. And a little display of Santa's table and Santa's helpers, and we've put little tractors on with the elves working on them. And Dave and Marilyn have done, well, it's at their place, but a lot of members have dropped in to do things. Some of the members that aren't quite mobile, there's 4 of them sitting up on the display. And yeah, Tony's going to come along behind on his little gopher scooter thing, and we're going to have a lot of members just walking along next to it. The last couple of years, they had all the kids run out, and people don't keep their kids back like they should, and so we've got walkers at the front, two out the front to sort of clear the track. Judy will be near the back wheel of the tractor talking to Paulie as he drives the tractor. Then there'll be another one at the front corner of the trailer and another one at the back of the trailer, just to keep the kids away. It's just a safety measure. So there's 8 people walking along in different areas of the display with club shirts and Christmas hats and things, and then Tony and a few other members and all are going to come along behind, just as a show of, yeah, we've got a few members supporting it, and we'll just toodle along. Those that can walk, and those who can't, I don't think I'll be walking the whole street up and back and buggering around. I'll try and get ahead of it if I can and take a bit of footage of it, if I can. I'll try and go up ahead and find a place where I can get a good look at it and watch it as it goes around. So that's my plan, at least at this stage. And then after I do that, I can probably walk along with the club a bit. And it comes up the street, and there's a turnaround near a roundabout, and you turn around there and you come down the other side of the street, and there's normally car parking inside in the centre part, but all the cars will be gone because there'll be a heap of people there. So probably I can get it going up that way, and then I can cross over while it's turning around and get over on the other side and get a bit of footage of them coming back the other way. So that's the plan. See how we go with that. We'll give it a run and see. Can't be all bad. I've been over to Dave's 2 or 3 times through the week. Yeah, I think I went Monday. Then the drawbar on the 135, it sits in quite a bit, and where we've got to turn this U, it was a bit far in, so we've gone to a linkage drawbar, and I had an old drawbar sitting over the back here, and so I pulled all that apart, and I through the week I welded up a receptacle and a bar. I've got it on Facebook. I'll have a photo here. I'll chuck a photo of what I've done. And so we've made it to a linkage drawbar. Then the next problem I come across was that, with your Massey Ferguson hydraulics, they're made to droop. They will droop. So if we're parked up or we're just sitting there with the tractor not running, and the hydraulics start to droop, and we have people on the trailer and we start it, well, the trailer will go whoop. All these old fellas on the back we might tip them off. So what I've done there, I've set the draft lever. I've put a lifting strap from the roll frame, and I've also made on the top of on the top link there, I've made a thing for the top link, and so we can actually support it with the roll frame. And so once we've got it out on the road and the level's right, and we've got the trailer level and the tractor's level and all that, we're going to use this ratchet strap to hold the hitch up exactly where we want it, support it with the arms so the arms don't get wobbly, and then we're going to put a ratchet strap from there down to the drawbar again. And the reason for that is so with one up top and one down the bottom, if we back up to a gutter or something and bump it or do something like that, it's not going to tip up and tip everyone and everything off. So we'll have it fixed. So that's our safety thing. We'll work with that. But yeah, look, it's looking good. It'll be a bit of a fun Thursday night. And next Sunday at the Spotted Dog Tavern in town, we're having the Christmas lunch. And yeah, I think out of 100 we must have around 106 members now in our club, I believe. It's over 100. It's been over 100 for a little while. And we've got about 50 odd going to the dinner, so we're just all going to get together and have a bit of a feed and just enjoy ourselves. So, and that'll be most of the club stuff, the official stuff done for the year. yeah, that we'll have a break then. We don't have a meeting in January, but yeah, we got a little bit of stuff to sort out. The AGM was yesterday, and I took the position and got voted in. No one else was silly enough to be president, so now I'm the grand poobah. I'm the president. My mate Peter Woody, he's had a lot of experience with the Millbong Tractor Club when he was down there. Sort of started it and got it going, and I sort of started this one, and I had a lot of people help, that's for sure. And so yeah, we're at the top now. I'm president, Peter's vice president. We still have Alan as the secretary, Helen as the assistant secretary, treasurer Trevor, and we've organised a new committee, and a lot of people I've rang and got on the committee, and we've tried to have someone from the tractor, from showing tractors, from tractor trekking, from the engine paddock, Jean the fundraiser, Marilyn as the newsletter editor, Ed is the bloke that looks after all the fencing and the paddocks and all our displays and things like that. So we've got people that do stuff for the club, and we've tried to have a mix. So on the 15th, we're going to have the first committee meeting at our place here up in the pool room, just to set direction. Set the direction we're going, what we would like to fix. And just keep it all easy. There's not going to be anyone piss important. We're just going to have a nice time, just be all mates and get in there and have a nice time and enjoy the club and bug around and we're all mates. We should all be relaxed, not bloody ringing up, getting up people and bloody carry on. So there's a couple of things with the management of the club I've found that weren't quite as they should have been, but that's fine. They didn't like committee meetings, and you're supposed to have one every 4 months. I've been reading up all the legislation just so I did everything correctly, and you're supposed to have a committee meeting every 4 months, and I think we went about 7 or 8. We had one in December, then the next one was July, I think. So they just didn't like, meetings, committee meetings. So, and because of that, we found a few things that need sorting out. So, which if they were having meetings, it would have been good. I was on the committee, but one of the meetings, cousin Evie and I weren't getting on. He called a committee meeting 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, so I couldn't be there. So things like that, So we're going to try and sort all that out and just get regular committee meetings, and everyone will have a job, and we'll just tinker along nice and steady. Just enjoy ourselves. We're there to play with tractors and engines and restore old gear and enjoy the hobby. So that's what we're there for. We're not there to bloody get all excited and full of our own importance. We're just there to enjoy ourselves. So anyway, there'll be a few hurdles. I can feel it in my water. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, someone had to do it, and something had to change, so that's happened. The camper trailer tank that you saw last week, I pressure tested it, and where the outlet fitting on the bottom was, and I've taken a little bit of footage of that for the end videos. A little boy peeing bloody tiny little hole in it once you pressurised it. So I was a bit concerned. I didn't have stainless wire for the MIG or stainless wire for the Oxy. I went through my gear and I had some Astro 375 welding rods, and they're a great rod. You can weld stainless with them. They're sort of a nickel, seem to have quite a bit of nickel in them. And for stainless and all that. So the rod was a 3.25 mil rod. So that's, look, 1/8 of an inch, something like that. And I was a bit concerned. I did quite a few test welds on a little bit of steel there just to try and have it so it would arc and burn, but not be that hot that it burnt through the thin stainless plate on the tank. And it took me 2 goes to get it right. First time I reckon I had it looking nice, and what saved me was the stainless fitting for the outlet was quite thick, so I could aim most of my weld at the stainless fitting and have it just go across into the thinner bit. But I had to have 2 goes at it, but that's good. Then once I got the tank all back in and cleaned up and all that, well, the breather tube, part of the problem I had with it was that the breather tube wouldn't breathe, and I could never fill that tank up properly. And so anyway, I got the tank all back in and got the leak fixed and got the other hose, and I thought, oh, I'll just blow back up through the, you might remember the breather hose come down under the chassis and back, and it should have probably blown out, but it didn't. And so I've got the air up in there, and it's actually somewhere where I can't get to unless I assemble the, put the whole camper up and coming down through the lounge chairs inside. But yeah, you cannot blow air through that thing, and if you suck on it, it'll stick to your tongue. So what I've done, I've shifted the Fordson Dexter from out of the shed over to the stables where the T20 used to live. I've taken the little scarifier off the back of the T20 here because I want to work on the T20 and tidy up bits and pieces. Before putting the camper in, I've got the Massey 20, the industrial, out, so I didn't want to jam it in there, and it's a runner. So I've got it out and I've got it back in the doorway here, so I want to finish that bonnet, and I think I'm going to have to pull the final drive off to fix an oil leak. I've been dodging that, but anyway, I think I'm going to have to do it. Where the brake shaft goes into the final drive, there's a Welsh plug in there and it's leaking out there. So obviously the Welsh plug has come out, and yeah, one of those things. People pack them full of grease, and when they put it in, they give it a heave-ho and it pops the little Welsh plug out. So I'll probably have to do that. And I wanted to get the the Ford 2000 petrol out the front in the weather and inside. So I've got it here in the hoist bay now. And so here in the hoist bay, I can work on it. I bent one of the steering rods bringing it in because it didn't run. I had to sit it on the forklift and try and steer it around, and the fork, I wasn't paying attention. I've bent one of the little track rods, but I've got to straighten that up. But I've got that inside now. I wasn't happy with that sitting out in the weather, and I couldn't sort of put it under the boat because I had to get the boat out. So I've been a stuff around. So anyway, I've got all tractors except the David Brown, the 420 Johnny. It's where the 1640 is. The 1640's outside, but it's got good gear stick boots and a good canopy and all that, and there's a bit to do on that as well. So I've got the tractors. If we have a heap of wet weather, which I'm expecting, I can work on the little Fergie inside here and make sure it's okay. The carby for the Ford 2000, I've got to get that done and put it on, because before I could start it and run it and drive it, but I had to have the throttle flat out, it wouldn't idle, and there's a little plunger in the carby that was a bit dicky there. So I'll take you for a little walk around and just show you what things look like. But a lot of things have changed. Over behind where the Dexter was, I had some pallets of LSA oil there, and when I got the Dexter out, I was looking at it thinking, why is that bloody tipped over? And bloody white ants had hopped in to the pallet under the drum. And so I had to get all that out from under the wall there. I had a bit of Law's band left over from the old man, and so I've sprayed the Law's band and I've sprayed the drums, and I've sat them there without a pallet now. And there was 3 pallets there, and 1 out of the 3 the white ants ate completely in a couple of months. The other ones haven't been touched. So anyway, everything got a big spray. So yeah, then I had to get in and clear all that out and clear the dust and the dirt and the white ant wood and all that, and get the pallet out onto the heap to be burnt. And there's always been white ants in that little bit, but it's a steel shed and they don't go up the pallet racking and get to the parts boxes, but always in that one spot. And I go outside and spray from time to time, but I must have left that and not quite done it. Yeah, so anyway, doesn't matter. That's all done, but that was an extra bit of work for the day, for the week. So this week I've got to put the camper up, hop down inside there and see if I can find why that tank won't breathe. Yeah, but I can't get at it until I put the camper up. So, and I don't want to put the camper up, if we get some wet, misty weather, I don't want to put the camper up in the carport up the front there and get it all damp and then have to wait and wait and wait for it to dry out properly. So I'm in the shed here, it'll be okay. And so I'll probably pop that up this morning. I've got to go and see Dave for the Christmas float. He wants me to have a look at something. I mean, we had the ACRA general meeting, which is the Australian Collectors and Restorers Association meeting on Wednesday evening, and I was vice president there, and nothing changed there. I'm vice president for ACRA again. Craig's main man, and so yeah, that's good. We were able to keep fees down. We got a better deal on insurance than we had last year even, so we don't have to put the fees up at all. So for the member clubs, so we've got quite a few member clubs, well over 700 members in that. So we can keep the figures down for that. So that's a good thing. So, but Sparex, my Sparex order for the bearings, they just turned up Thursday or Friday. So I have bags of needle bearings now. So I'm hoping this week I can actually get to do some final drive work. Now over on the welding bench, I have been needle scaling a couple of final drive parts, and I'm getting ready to set up over there, so I can show knocking one bearing out with a punch, but I also want to show taking another bearing out with the welder, just to show two ways of doing the one job. So I've started on that just to try and get my ducks in a row. Sparex have this thing. It's a magic wand. It's part number S151749, and what it is, they call it an air comb, and it's just an air nozzle with a piece of aluminium tube there, and see those four little holes? There's 5 little holes. As soon as I can count, I should come good. And the idea of this is that you hook your air hose to it, and if you want to dial your pressure down to under 30 pounds, say 25 pound, and you want to put this in an air cleaner, you can work it inside, from the inside out to the air cleaner to blow the dust out, which is a problem you blokes in England won't have. Dust. And you can get it between your radiator and an air conditioning condenser, or if you have an oil cooler in front of your radiator, you can push him in and out and blow all the dirt and dust and that out. So I saw that there and I said, God, that's a bloody good thing. I had been thinking of making something like that, but then I thought, well, if they got one, I'll just get it, and away we go. So yeah, and the amount of air coming out of that at 90 or 100 pound, there's a lot. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I ended up getting some spare Sparex water pump bearings, your S40075s, and I'd still like to muck around with water pumps a bit. I have a few to do, and I've got some air cleaner hoses and a few things like that. S41379 air cleaner hoses for the 65, and I'll probably start popping panels around, just test fitting on and off for there too. So, but yeah, I seem to be bloody busy. But everyone says that, you retire and the jobs come in, but I'm still cleaning the shed. I'm still tidying up bits and pieces as I go. Okay, timed out again. That seems to happen a bit. The other thing you might be able to see here is this this aircraft tie track. Now, with the camper, the canopy, the big canopy on the back, that if Jude and I go to a tractor show and there's we take a tractor on the trailer, well, we've got it set up. It's all insulated and that, so we can camp in the back of it. But we're planning on doing a little bit of travelling with the camper trailer, and so we'll have the mattresses and that out, but we'll be able to put our chairs and let's say a Ziggy barbecue and a table and chairs and a gazebo, for a bit of extra shade or things like that in the back canopy, and just use it as a storage area really. And along the back and along the front, there's a beam. It's a 20mm beam alloy right across. So what I've chosen to do is buy this aircraft rail. Look, it's on eBay everywhere, and that gives you these little tie downs, and you can put them anywhere. I have quite a few of these, and so that gives us, if we have one of them right at the back, right across the full extent of the back, 500 kilos pull, I believe. I've got some. This is what I have on the side of the ute, on the outside, but if we have these right across the headboard and right across the back, that means instead of things, what we've had in the past is the chairs and that just sit in the back and they bounce along, and it doesn't do them any good. You know, they end up, you know, rubbing through a bit, or you get marks on your tables and things. So what I've chosen to do is I've got 4 1 metre strips of this stuff. So they're going to go along the back and along the headboard. And the pool noodle here, I bought you can buy a very thin one, but I bought the one that's quite wide. And see that flat piece in there is around 20 mil. So that'll go on the beam there nicely, and that'll give us this upper bit as a bit of a shelf, because, you know, I think it's about 40 or 50 by 20. So that'll give us a little bit of a shelf with a lip there. Usually I sit my phones up there and things like that. But what the old pool noodle is because we have a bit sticking up and down, well, what I think I'm going to do is put a bit of pool noodle there, and you'll still have the 20 mil at the back there nice and clear. But when we put a chair or a table up against it, we're not having a table up against that surface there. It's a rounded surface, this. And the other thing is that because our pillows will be up this end if we do camping again, which we will, the time will come when we've got to do that. Well, yeah, that way, if you put your head up, you're not hitting this thing. So yeah, all these loops can come out. There's a stack of loops, and they're countersunk bolts. So another job coming up, and it comes with all the bolts. So what I normally do is, I drill through and I tap the threads, and then these Allen keys just go in. So that way, when we cart our chairs and things like that, they're not rubbing on anything. I've got some ratchet straps coming with little safety hooks on them. So yeah, when we travel, and so when we go, say, Bendermere, and we want to take a chair and an extra gazebo and things like that, well, we can put it in the back of the ute. We can strap everything down. It's not moving around, and yeah, and I do have rails along the side I can use as well. But this is just to keep things from rubbing, because yeah, we have a couple of chairs in the canvas on the, like, director's chairs over the arms and that, where they rub on the floor from just constant vibration. It marks them up. So if we can sit them on their normal feet and just strap them against a bit of this green stuff, a bit of pool noodle, and ratchet strap them in place, well, yeah, our gear will last better. So that's the story there. So that all came through the week. I'm still waiting on a couple of ratchet straps, and yeah, we should be good to go. So, okay, I better shut up, grab the camera and go for a little walk and show you what we've been up to. Yeah, this video might be in 2 bits. I'm not sure. The stew might be in 2 bits. I might have the chat, then I might put the stew out later. I didn't get the videos out last time, sorry. I didn't get an extra video done last week. It was just, by the time I run to town for 3 days, for, and made that frame for Dave, for the Christmas parade and all that. Well, the work I was planning on doing just didn't get done. Then I found white ants under the bench, so there was another best part of a day, cleaning all that up and then getting the spray mixed and spraying the shed. So while we had the spray going, it was up the house and spray all around the house and all that. So yeah, the week didn't go anything like I planned, but anyway, that's fine. We got another week this week, so we'll have a crack at that. So anyway, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, have a good week, everyone, and yeah, we'll catch up with you next week, eh? See ya.